Sydney telecoms worker buys 10 homes in 4 years. IT worker Andrew Hew is set to join an exclusive club. The day his under-construction home in Potts Hill is completed in January, he'll be one of only a handful of Sydneysiders who own more than 10 homes, but with one key difference: he earns a fairly typical salary. The Homebush resident has built up his collection of 11 properties, which includes his residence, with minimal cash and no inside knowledge of construction. His investments span Western Sydney, the Central Coast, regional NSW and Queensland, and 10 of his homes were purchased after the housing boom began in 2012. Each purchase has been guided by genius buying tactics. Mr. Hew buys only in suburbs, where he can nab deals for under their market value and where rents can cover most of mortgage costs. Buying property this way, I actually increased my income with each purchase, so the banks were able to keep issuing me loans, Mr. Hew said. There are other ways the 37-year-old has taken a different approach to buying homes. "I don't even look at the properties I buy," he said. "You have to do things without emotion." One of the common mistakes most buyers make when investing in property is that they buy homes only in the areas they'd personally want to live in, Mr. Hew explained. This limits their potential to make money from their purchases because the properties that might see the biggest growth in value may not necessarily be nearby or even in the same state, he said. A property's potential for growth in value is one of the most important steps in building a big property portfolio, Mr. Hew added. The growth is what allows homeowners to refinance their loans, to buy more properties without having to save a deposit, something also known as leveraging. "Almost all my purchases were made through leveraging," Mr. Hew said. His first investment property, bought in 2012, was the one exception. He got a small loan from his in-laws. "All up, we've probably only used about $40,000 to $50,000 in cash, which was mostly for stamp duty," he said. One of his most recent purchases, a 3-bedroom townhouse in Penrith suburb Kingswood, shows how Mr. Hew's strategy works in action. He purchased the property last year for $350,000, but upon settlement it was worth nearly $100,000 more. He got the discount by paying close attention to the market and listening to the advice of buyers' agents and other property professionals, he said. "What I've done isn't rocket science," Mr. Hew said. "If you work hard and save, it's possible for anyone to do the same."